I don't know how to change it.
Why are you,
I'm so fucking bright.
what's that guy's name? Exit stage left even.
I'm Snagglepuss.
That's who you, that's what you sounded like. You're like, I don't know how to change it.
They took away my filters, so I can't make
I'm
myself.
based on a homosexual.
That's frustrating.
Oh, welcome to live Google Hangouts.
Hi, I glow in the dark.
You do look irradiated.
Yeah. Maybe if I turn the brightness down on the iPad.
Yes.
I can barely read it, but there it is. All right, turn that off. Here. Let's share some links for this bullshit.
Oh, I get it. You look like that in honor of our new champion.
Yeah, we're doing it on purpose.
It's a shameful thing. Lobster hands.
No, it's lobster head. If I move away, does that make it better? If I come way back here,
Yeah.
I still kind of glow in the dark, though. I'm so white.
Yeah. Yeah, but now you have definition.
I'm getting cut. Is that what you're saying? Look at my fucking fat fucking face. All right. Anyway. Why is my phone doing this all of a sudden? Where it says new message when these come in. New message. New message. I know they're new messages. I know they're new messages because they weren't there before. You don't have to tell me they're new messages.
I don't know. What kind of phone do you have?
5C.
It's the same thing I have. I don't get that.
What is wrong with my phone?
No, I don't get that.
New message, sorry. Lucy just went to sleep. Sorry, Lucy just went to sleep. New message, are you Bruce Willis in The Sixth Sense?
Anyway, I enjoy having the text to speak function on the phone because when I do emojis, if I do the we can do that, that's fine.
I like fat cunts. I like fat cunts.
Here's my personal favorite. Go to the emojis.
Yep.
So at some point we will get to the show, folks watching at home. Just don't worry about that.
Yeah.
If you go to the emojis, hang on, I got to get to the, where is it? This one. Do this. Right.
Do that.
Yep. Oh, is it not going to do it now? It doesn't speak the emojis anymore?
Oh no.
Oh, that makes me so sad.
Oh.
Because it used to go, smiling pile of dew. Smiling pile of dew. Yeah, smiling pile of dew.
All right.
I like fat cunts.
All right. So let's get this. Good to know Adam's phone. So let's get this 20-minute episode out of the way.
Seriously. Seriously, you guys. You guys, seriously.
Seriously.
Okay. 226, where we talk about Survivor Series and only Survivor Series because there was literally no news in the last 4 days. 3, 2. Well, I'll go back up there. Haha. Record. This week's episode of The Rundown is brought to you by the internet. I forgot to look up my notes, so give me a moment. There it is. Where you can bitch to your heart's content because that wrestling show didn't go exactly the way you wanted. The internet. Go fuck yourself.
Saved it.
You know. There is said to be nuclear heat, quote unquote, on Lana for a myriad of reasons, including her legit Twitter argument with Paige and the belief that she is the one who leaked the story to TMZ about her engagement to Rusev. When do you think we'll actually see her on TV again?
Never. If we're lucky.
Yeah. You know what I don't know how to say in Russian? Theme song. I'm so fucking bright. God damn it.
You are.
My
One
future.
piece of news.
My Google Hangout's so bright I have to wear shades.
Mm-hmm.
I close this a little bit.
Yeah.
Stiffer than John Morrison on Cialis. It's episode 226 of The Rundown. My name is Adam. I'm your host, and it is Tuesday, November 24th, 2015. Hot off the Survivor Series. Joining me this week, Troy's here.
Just barely.
That applies to all of us. So remember how last week we recorded on Thursday, and I talked about how next week on the show we talk about Survivor Series, but it'd be a slow news week because there's only been like 5 days between episodes. We have no news to talk about this week, so we're just going to talk about Survivor Series. I seem to be the only person in the world who enjoyed the Survivor Series.
I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah,
I thought it was okay. I mean, it was not anything to write home about, but it definitely was entertaining.
Yeah, everybody else is bitching up a storm about Sheamus cashing in Money in the Bank and becoming the champion, and it was so predictable, and I can't believe
If it was so predictable, how come people still popped when he came out and kicked him?
I mean, as soon as the main event ended at 10:38, I'm like, oh well, there's a cash in, but I don't automatically equate predictable with terrible. People seem to equate predictable with terrible, and I disagree with that.
Right.
Just because something is predictable, like we've been talking for weeks. Oh, the finals of the tournament's going to be Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns. I mean, we had a few different theories as to what exactly would happen at the end of the tournament. Turns out Raccoon Reigns was right. We'll get to that in a moment. But the fact of the matter is, yes, we all figured out far in advance that the finals of the tournament was going to be Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. We were saying that from the first round. That, oh, look at how it's set up. The final is going to be Roman versus Dean. But that doesn't mean it was bad, because the matches were entertaining. Roman versus Del Rio opened the show. Great match. Ambrose versus Owens. Great match. Roman versus Ambrose, great match. The Divas title match was fantastic. The Survivor Series elimination match, for what it was pretty good. I mean, it seemed really thrown together, and the teams made no fucking sense at all. But I think it was just there to go, oh, Sheamus lost. Guess he won't be cashing in. Because I think if you go back and you look at the history of Money in the Bank, I'm going to say at least 90% of cash-ins happen on the same night that the briefcase holder loses a match.
Probably.
I think so.
I also like the fact that people were bitching about Sheamus being the worst booked Money in the Bank holder leading up to it, but
not
that's
true.
That's what they've been doing
at
to all. Yeah, that's what they've been doing to every single person that wins the Money in the Bank. They break them down to then try to build them back up.
Exhibit A, Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah,
they buried the shit out of Dolph Ziggler when he won the briefcase.
And
then he won and then he won the title and had it for like 15 seconds.
Yeah. I mean that does happen, but I mean, we've been given a couple months now to prepare for this event because we knew Sheamus was going to win. He had the briefcase. I do rather like to play a game though.
Yeah.
Try to convince me that Sheamus is not a Hall of Famer.
That he's not a Hall of Famer? See, that's a very difficult game to play because Rikishi is a Hall of Famer.
As soon as you let Rikishi and the Bushwhackers, as soon as you let them in, you pretty much open the doors. But if I can quickly bring up the peds here.
For the first Irish-born heavyweight champion, I believe that in itself is a Hall of Fame worthy achievement.
Yep.
I don't mind Sheamus. I don't mind Sheamus. What I don't like about Sheamus is the way that they have been booking him in the past, especially when he's a face. Because I remember his last face run before he disappeared and came back as Super Mohawk Dude. He was just another Cena-style douchebag superhero. Like, you're an asshole, but we're supposed to cheer for you because you're an asshole.
Right.
And I don't know. It just didn't work for me.
So Sheamus is a one-time World Heavyweight Champion, a three-time WWE Champion, a two-time United States Champion, 2010 King of the Ring, 2015 Money in the Bank winner, and 2012 Royal Rumble winner.
Yep.
That's a Hall of Fame pedigree.
So I am surprised that he's never had the Intercontinental Championship, but he did have a pretty good U.S. title reign, as I recall. So
yeah.
Let's play Sal's voicemail just so we don't double cover any topics here, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Oh, that's true. He might have said that Sheamus is a Hall of Famer.
Make sure I have the right one up here. Yes, okay, this one.
Greetings, Rundown, from sunny California. It is Monday, November 23rd, the morning after Survivor Series. I have to make this quick, so allow me to say, fuck Sheamus.
Okay, that's all he said. Okay. Thanks for that insightful commentary, you useless waste of airtime. I like the I'm talking very quietly into my phone so as not to wake up my wife and daughters who are sleeping in this very same hotel room.
There you go.
Thank you, Sal, for that insightful commentary. Fuck Sheamus. That's what we get from Sal this week. The voice of the voicemail, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, so I guess back to what we were talking about then. Survivor Series itself was I enjoyed it. I gave it an A on Facebook. I then had a friend of mine roundly disagree with me. Andy said he enjoyed the show. I would love to have had him on here to talk about it, but he is ignoring me completely on Facebook and text message. So go fuck yourself.
Yeah, so fuck him.
I enjoyed Survivor Series. The Raw after Survivor Series felt a little disjointed to me. But I'll tell you what, the main event of Sheamus versus Roman Reigns in a TLC match really has me not regretting that I haven't gotten tickets to TLC in Boston.
Bummer.
So let's see. I missed the pre-show to the Survivor Series, so I didn't see the first Survivor Series match. That was what Goldust and the Primetime Players and somebody.
Yeah, you want to talk about even more loosely thrown together?
Yeah.
So the other thing with that is, so yeah, it was Goldust, PTP, and the Dudley Boys.
That's what it was, the Dudley Boys.
Yes. Stardust, the Ascension, and two other people. I don't know. Who cares?
That was all the way down the hall. Shit.
That was bad. You have Goldust come back on the pre-show, so nice job there. Yeah, really, really good way to re-debut a guy.
I was nicely
And then on
surprised
top
by
of
him
that-
on Raw because I did not see the pre-show, so I didn't know that he was on the pre-show.
And then you proceeded to not have him eliminate Stardust, which, if you're bringing him back, you think he's going to be in a feud with Stardust. Maybe don't have the Dudley Boys to defeat Stardust to win the match. Just saying. Perfect opportunity to set some up. You're like, oh, fuck it, we'll go 3D him. So that was kind of stupid. But yeah, Goldust is back.
Yay. He has been gunning on Twitter for the Intercontinental Championship. Like he's been trying to feud with Kevin Owens on Twitter over the Intercontinental Championship. So I don't know about that. I think I would be entertained by another Intercontinental title run for Goldust, but I don't want him to take it off Kevin Owens. You know what I mean?
I don't want him to take it off Kevin Owens, and I don't think that there's any real way that he can go head to head against Owens on the mic. Now, few can, because Owens is really good on the mic, but Goldust, he's never been much promo guy. Nowadays he kind of can't do the things that he used to be able to do on promos, which made him really good, but also really offensive. So, speaking of Owens on the mic, though, how terrible was Roman Reigns' reaction to Kevin Owens backstage promo on him? Owens comes in. Yeah. Owens comes in, cuts an awesome promo on him saying like, oh yeah, you got this close before and Bray Wyatt screwed you. You got this close before and you got screwed again by Seth Rollins, and you're going to get this close again to be screwed by me. He walks away and Roman Reigns is like, there's that KO always talking crap. Yeah. Well, I'm going to beat him. Believe that.
Surely fuck that guy. And then
yeah.
And then there was whatever. Then there was whatever happened on Monday, where I'm pretty sure he just forgot his lines in the middle of the promo, because I don't even remember. I don't even remember what was happening, but it was like he was backstage with JoJo or with Renee or someone, and like they asked him a question or he was responding to someone. And he just like stopped for a second. He was like, "I'm gonna beat him."
The best of guys out there, if they forget their lines, they can improv and do a fantastic job.
Remember that report last year that Roman Reigns was taking improv classes to try and improve his promo skills? What happened there?
Maybe the check didn't clear.
Yeah.
He's not very good. Let's put it that way. As a wrestler, he's a good wrestler. I can't take that away from him. He's an entertaining wrestler. He does what he does it well. But he is not a talker. But you know what? Kevin Nash wasn't a talker either. And he still had a really good career. So I'm not as upset about it, but the problem is that honestly at this point, you need to keep having Dean Ambrose be his mouthpiece. Because that's the only way that Roman Reigns is going to get over, is if Ambrose keeps talking for him. You do the Shawn Michaels Diesel kind of pairing of Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, and then you don't have to sit there and listen to Roman Reigns try to remember his lines and also try to act like he knows what he's talking about.
Roman Reigns is
there's a reason
Paul
why
Heyman guy.
Yeah. I would be completely okay with that. anything to keep him off of the mic, because he's like Eva Marie levels of bad.
That's bad. That's bad.
There's a reason why McMahon was writing his promos for him.
And was that when he was talking about Sylvester the cat?
That was the suffering succotash stuff.
Yeah. So bad. Ziggler versus Breeze. Fine bout. Ziggler Breeze over with the Unprettier, which is nice to see. They're bringing that back, and it's so appropriate.
I was very happy as well, because the beauty shot's never really been all that great of a finishing move.
A spinning heel kick.
Yeah. So now you get to have him transition over to something that obviously is not being used anymore. And not only are you dropping people on their face, which is great for his character, but also the name is already built into it. So
exactly.
That's just a win-win all over the place.
You know what needs to come back?
The overdrive.
The Vertebreaker. Remember the Vertebreaker? I loved the Vertebreaker.
Yeah. There's a really good amount of moves. Like Randy Orton's overdrive, which was just fantastic. The backcracker was a great move too, which has kind of been altered in different things. It's kind of the code breaker now too, although he like does it to their face instead of their back. The FU. Oh no, wait, we still have that.
The fireman's carry.
Fireman's carry.
Yeah, I love it. We've talked about this many times before, but I will never hesitate to bring it up. I love that when they switched to the PG era, they changed the name of the FU to the Attitude Adjustment. They changed the STFU back to just the STF. But the 5-knuckle shuffle did not get changed.
Well,
does someone important not know what that means?
I'm sure. I'm sure McMahon is just like, he's doing a little shuffle, and then he puts his 5 knuckles into someone's face. What's sexual about that?
So, where was it? There it is. So the Undertaker, the Brothers of the Destruction versus the the Wyatt family match. For what it seemed short to me. I'll say that it seemed kind of short, but I mean, it was obvious that Taker was going over because it was his night. I didn't realize it was 25 years to the day. So I thought.
Neither did I. They did a. It was really weird that they kept talking about it being the 25th anniversary, which I know you.
Yeah, they actually got it right. No, they actually got it right this time. They actually got it right this time. They used it correctly this time. They can use it correctly for The Undertaker, can't use it correctly for WrestleMania or SummerSlam.
That's probably because of the fact that it was The Undertaker who said, it'll be my 25th anniversary. I don't know. It's weird to see The Undertaker in a throwaway match, which is exactly what this was. This was just like, this almost felt like it was a warm-up match for him.
But Bray has the power of the lightning.
Bray is the worst booked superstar in the company right now.
It's so sad. So sad.
They don't know what to do with him. And the only reason the guy still gets TV time is because he is far too good at throwing promos out there.
Exactly.
He's got this entire faction now that just got beat by 2 guys.
Yeah.
And given, they are 2 guys that are the Brothers of Destruction, but
it is absolutely a tragedy the way they've wasted the Wyatt family and Bray Wyatt.
Yeah,
absolutely a tragedy. The Wyatt family, Rowan and Harper should have been tag team champions at least 3 times over at this point, because I remember we all the times on this show, last year when they were, fighting the Usos for the tag team championships, and every month it was like, this has to be the month, right? This has to be the month when they give them the titles, right? And they never fucking gave them the titles. And then they broke them up and did nothing. And then went, oh, fuck, well, that didn't work. Put them back together.
Well, Harper got a singles run for the Intercontinental Championship for like 19 days.
Yeah, for a cup of goddamn
that
coffee.
Happened. Yeah. He won something at least. So yeah, I mean, I know that the road of WWE is paved with the broken souls of a fantastic wrestlers, but come on, like you had Ryback as Intercontinental Champion for 3 months. You can't have Bray Wyatt even win the United States Championship for a little bit, or do
For God's sake,
something with the guy.
Zack Ryder was United States champion. Come on.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't know. I mean, for our NXT fans, we did have somebody ask and receive their release today.
Yeah, which is sad.
Uh,
Solomon Crow.
Solomon Crow. Here's a guy who could have been really good
Yeah.
in WWE, and they started to use him a little bit,
Mhm.
and then it seemed like the crowd didn't really get behind him.
They
which
gave him a
really
they gave him
sucks.
a really interesting gimmick with the whole, kind of hacker thing, and with I always thought that his intro was cool because with the whole, it would cut
Yeah.
into the feed.
Mhm.
And yeah, he had two or three matches on NXT TV, and
Mhm.
then we never heard from him again.
Yeah, he had a really good debut where he just came in and obliterated CJ Parker and essentially got him removed from NXT television.
Yeah.
He did a couple of matches, then he turned heel out of nowhere and then was just never seen again. So
Yep.
I mean, we'll have Sally Callahan back on the indies again, but it's another one of those things where here's another fantastic superstar that they just didn't seem to know what to do with, and because of that, he's now no longer with the company. You know, I mean, you look at guys like Drew McIntyre. There's another good example of it.
Absolutely.
But then I mean, even Ezekiel Jackson, Kurt Hawkins, guys like that. These are guys that are really good wrestlers that they just don't seem to know what to do with, and yet Big Show keeps getting airtime.
Eva Marie is challenging Bailey for the NXT Women's Championship.
Yeah, if that bitch wins that title,
Ugh.
we can say the Divas Revolution is officially dead, right?
Ugh.
She can't, right? They can't legitimately be like, we're going to put the title belt on her, right?
Dear God, I hope not.
It worries me so much.
That would just kill everything that ever has been good in the world.
Yeah,
dead and gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, it's okay if you put the light heavyweight championship on X-Pac when he had his X-Pac heat days, because it's a title belt. Because it's a title belt that already at that point was kind of shit on and nobody cared about.
Yeah,
this is the women's championship that you've been building up and building up.
Yeah, this is the title that was just defended in the first ever women's Iron Man match. Mm-hmm. And you're gonna put it on fucking Bailey. You're gonna put it on fucking Eva Marie. You're gonna take it off Bailey, who deserves it more than probably any other diva on the NXT roster right now. Mm-hmm. And you're gonna put it on Eva Marie. Don't fucking put it on Eva Marie. I know Triple H. I know you listen because we've discussed this before. I know you listen.
Yeah.
Don't do
it.
That.
Yeah. If this,
I am begging you from the bottom of my soul, don't.
See, and here's the thing. I mean, all right. If this is just a means to an end to get it on Asuka, then there's far better heels to put it on. Emma's down there still. Put it on Emma, even for a month, just so you can have Asuka feud with her. Yeah, don't make Eva Marie even a paper champion, because I want that bitch's Wikipedia to remain
empty,
as empty as her head.
She is such a dumb cunt. Everything she does inside the ring is offensive because it's so terrible. I don't know if you saw.
So terrible.
Did you see the promo where she challenged Bailey to the match?
Yeah.
And it's gonna be you versus me. No, not what that word means. Stop talking. Stop talking. Stop wrestling. Stop breathing. Stop living. Stop
Yes.
living. Go back to Paris.
Kill yourself.
Stay there.
Kill yourself.
Uh,
Kill yourself.
What the fuck were we
Just do
talking about?
Do it. Do it. We were talking about how fantastic Sheamus's cash-in was.
For fuck's sake, I tweeted how terrible she was, and she retweeted it. Go away.
She doesn't even understand. She doesn't even understand how Twitter works. Okay.
Can we now safely call X-Pac heat Eva Marie heat?
It might be worse.
Yeah,
Because you know what? X-Pac had talent.
it's true.
He just was a vile, greasy piece of shit.
He knew how to tear his asshole open on a Bronco Buster.
Make some noise. Yeah, people just didn't like him. Well, I mean, technically, Big Show was getting X-Pac heat for a while there too.
Yeah.
When you've got fans chanting "Please retire," that means that what you're doing isn't working anymore.
Yeah.
Eva Marie has never worked. Nothing they've ever tried with her has worked, and I don't know why they would try to fast track her into a title when, if you really want to have her be redeemed, fire her.
Yeah. No, but she came from Total Divas and she learned how to wrestle. She went to Brian Kendrick's school. Don't you know she went to Brian Kendrick's school? Oh,
Yeah, well, you know what? You know what? That retarded bitch JoJo also came from Total Divas and went to the fucking Kevin Kelly school of announcing.
Yes.
She's terrible too. Okay?
I still cannot stand, speaking of awful ring announcers, when JoJo was in NXT, she was fucking terrible. I still cannot stand the way Eden Styles announces. It drives me up a goddamn wall every time she announces Kevin Owens. It
is bad. I caught it I caught it while I was watching Survivor Series last night. I was just like, why would you say his name like that?
Exactly. Eden,
How'd you do that?
watch tape of Lillian. Listen to how Lillian announces Kevin Owens. That's how you're supposed to pronounce Kevin Owens. There is no need to accentuate the first syllable of Owens. It sounds stupid. Stop doing that.
It literally sounds like she's in the middle of announcing his name. Someone kicked her down a well. Kevin.
Kevin.
Or she got zapped into that little like prison thing that they got the Kryptonian criminals into. And
that's Foley work. That's some good Foley work right there.
It is literally amazing that this can keep going on like this too, because she's horrible. Yeah. JoJo's horrible.
Yeah.
And
the guy who's doing NXT right now isn't bad.
Yeah.
But I do miss
Brennan?
just no, he's a commentator. I don't know the guy's name.
No, who is it?
He looks like he looks like fat Jeremy Borash.
Oh, is that that Orca whatever
I can't remember his name. Oh no, Arda Ocal is not. No, he appears in the studio sometimes, but no, the guy who currently is ring announcing for NXT also does backstage sometimes, and he looks like a fat Jeremy Borash.
Okay. There are too many fucking ring announcers, and you know, and the thing is, like, if you go back and watch like Gene Okerlund interviews.
Mm-hmm.
That is what everyone should strive to be, because I'm so sick of it when you have a backstage segment where you've got JoJo will ask a question, put the mic and
just stand. Yeah, it's a completely different thing nowadays. Like Gene Okerlund, Mean Gene would tell a story in the promo. And nowadays, it's exactly that. It's ladies and gentlemen, my guest at this time, Roman Reigns. Here you go, talk, and then walk off, and I will. and then walk
You still
off.
see me?
Yeah, and then walk off, and I will smile at you as you leave.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all they're there for now. I'm sure, I am positive that if Renee Young was given the chance, she could totally pull off a Gene Okerlund.
She has been able to. We have seen it at times in NXT.
that's why-
She'll be backstage and she'll be talking with someone in NXT and will actually keep asking questions.
Right.
Where it's not just here. They're more than just a mic stand. And that's the problem with a lot of them is they're just little fucking mic stands where you have JoJo sitting there and like
a deer in the goddamn headlights, like, oh, you're big. You're
big.
You're big. You talk words now. You talk words now.
Yeah. And how patronizing is that Roman Reigns is just like, believe that, JoJo. It's like you can't even remember your own lines, but you can remember this fucking dumb bitch's name.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
And that's the thing, is it's a victim of the I would call the MTV generation, where the attention span got so fucking wiped out by everything. Nobody's going to sit there and watch. Okay, so you just had a match with this guy, and that went pretty well. How do you feel about that? I feel pretty good. Okay, so next week on Raw, you're going to have to challenge for Kevin Owens for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, if you win that match, then and go back, nobody's going to sit for that, or they don't think anybody's going to sit for that. So it's literally, hi, you're here.
Dean, tell us what you're going to do tonight. And he just goes off. Yeah, the way I look at it as well is like the other problem we often have is that wrestlers seem to be in a bubble, and a lot of their backstage stuff is just about whatever's going on in their little bubble. Whereas back in the day, you'd have it where they'd be like, you would go where like Razor Ramon would have a thing in the middle of the ring, and it cut back, be like, Jeff Jarrett, what do you think of what Razor's saying there? Well, I'll tell you something. That Razor, he's up to no good. But tonight, I'm going to do, they would actually reference that there's other things going on in the program other than just what's going on in their own personal, existence there.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, too, is like, is it really that hard for us to be, for one of the wrestlers in back to just be like, wow, I can't believe that, that Kevin Owens just retained the IC championship. Well, let me tell you something. Tonight, when I face Alberto Del Rio, he's not going to retain that championship. It's not that hard.
What was his name? El Dorito Del Rio?
El Dorito Del Rio, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think we could go on for hours on how terrible the announcing is and how that I don't usually like to do like the whole like it was better back in the day and stuff like that. But that's one thing for sure that I have no problem saying is that, the backstage segments were more than just take it away, wrestler.
And I think it's also a victim of the fact that there is so much wrestling on now. Because back then it was, okay, we've got 3 months to build to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And now it's you've got this match in 15 minutes, so talk about him now, and then we'll rush to that in 15 minutes, and then after that we'll rush to this next thing because they have to fill. They still haven't figured out how to fill 3 hours entertainingly, but goddamn it, they're going to cram as much shit in there as possible.
Oh, and just wait, because in January it's going to get worse. Because with SmackDown moving to USA Network, they actually have to put like continuations of storyline on SmackDown. Because USA would not take SmackDown unless it was a more standalone show than just here's some Raw recaps, here's some random matches we threw together. Here's a rematch from Raw. Here's a replay from Raw. Here's a rematch of Raw. Here's a recap of the last 2 weeks on Raw. Yep. So now you actually have to have like in-ring promos, and you actually have to have like wrestling matches that prolong storylines and stuff like that. So it's going to get worse. Because now they're going to go from, all right, we got the main event program. So we've got 3 weeks until the next pay-per-view, which means that we probably got a good, let's say 2.5 hours to work with in terms of matches and backstage stuff. Now you add SmackDown to that. Now you're like, all right, we have 6 hours on just this one storyline that we're going to do over the next 3 weeks. That's too much fucking time.
Although I do remember last year when there was like 6 weeks between pay-per-views.
Yeah,
That was one of the best pay-per-views of the year.
that is true. Yeah.
So I mean, part of the issue is that is the fact. I think part of the issue is the fact that they don't give a shit about SmackDown, and it is painfully obvious that they don't give a shit about SmackDown right now. SmackDown is totally just a lame duck SmackDown until January 5th, or well, that's the Tuesday, so until January 7th when it debuts on USA, and at that point, hopefully, they will figure out how to pay attention to SmackDown and actually make it important. And when they're taking the time to make it important, then it's not just we have all this shit that we need to do in 3 hours on Raw, and then we've got 2 hours of SmackDown, and we can just replay the shit that we did on Raw.
Yeah.
We've got 3 hours on Raw, we've also got 2 hours on SmackDown. We've got 5 hours this week where we can tell these stories. How can we spread these out over if we can take the time and spread these out over these 5 hours?
Yeah.
Maybe that'll help. I don't know.
Maybe. You know what else would be a really big help and really alleviate a lot of the problem they're having right now? Brand split.
You want to go back to the brand split?
I want to go back to the brand split because right now, what's the problem that we're having? Too many wrestlers getting hurt, and not enough guys ready to step up after that. You have a brand split. Not only are you taking the guys off the road, not making them wrestle nearly as much, you're cutting down their road time, you're cutting down the rest of the time, you're cutting down the chances of them getting hurt, but you're also having all this extra time for these mid-card guys who are getting lost in the shuffle right now, and start building up some guys that you can elevate as soon as someone else goes down with an injury. Not to mention the fact you're also able to make both shows relevant because you have separate storylines, separate wrestlers on those things, and you have a deep enough roster and enough guys in NXT kicking around that you can bring up that you can have a brand split, no problem. You got two mid-card belts.
Yeah. They could do that. Just have the tag champions and the tag women's and world champion float like they did when they first did the brand split. Plus, it did bring back the draft lottery, and I was always a fan of that. Yeah. I always enjoyed draft lottery night.
Yeah, and you can always bring back the big gold belt if you really want to have a SmackDown champion.
They're not going to do that.
Yeah, but yeah, you can easily have that, or you could bring back the women's belt because you got enough women's wrestlers now. You've got too many women's wrestlers, arguably. Because you have a bunch of people that are not in storylines right now, like Sasha Banks, who should be on every week.
Did you see Mick Foley's post on Twitter on Facebook about the Divas match?
I essentially have stopped paying attention to that guy, but I saw something about him ready to stop watching Raw because as if they care.
He's upset by what he considers the death of the Divas Revolution. Because in the midst of this whole thing where the Divas are supposed to be getting more airtime and have better matches, that Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch on Raw, which he believes was the first time they ever fought, only went 4 minutes.
Wow.
And he does have a point because those two can put on spectacular matches. They can go for much longer than 4 minutes.
Yeah.
But they only got 4 minutes on Raw, and that's what he's upset about.
Okay. But you know what? That's not enough to stop watching. And don't you have enough pull backstage that you should be able to pull McMahon aside and be like, I made a lot of money for you. So maybe listen to me a little bit.
That's the thing, though. Does Mick Foley have pull anymore? He's been gone so long.
I don't know.
Does anybody really give a shit what he has to say anymore?
Maybe.
I mean, in terms of anyone that matters within WWE and the guiding WWE.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm reading the SmackDown spoilers.
Okay. What you got?
Oh boy. So we've got. I won't go through the whole thing.
It's the Thanksgiving SmackDown, so it's almost guaranteed to be terrible.
I have Thanksgiving dinner segment with the New Day, so maybe that won't be as bad.
Could be good. Could be good.
I have backstage segment with the Gobbledygooker and the Usos, so that'll be terrible.
Yeah.
The Lucha Dragons defeat Big E and Kofi Kingston with the Gobbledygooker in a non-title match. The Gooker was revealed to be Jey Uso.
But the Usos were just having
Yeah. So the
Stroke, bleed, drool.
the main event was apparently a triple threat match for number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship,
All right. Who's in that?
which was Tyler Breeze, Dolph Ziggler, and Dean Ambrose.
Ambrose?
Yes.
All right. I can work with that.
That's what we were building to anyways before. You know, Ambrose and Owens is a really good rivalry to have.
Yeah. And their tournament match was fantastic. So
Oh my gosh, it was great. You kind of booked it as Ambrose getting a little lucky in that match, which was good because he just kept getting sideswiped by Owens. Oh, sorry. Oh, wins and
yeah, a roller coaster.
yeah. I also, you know, if there's anyone that can take a loss and not have it hurt them, it's Kevin Owens because he is perfect
because he's been doing that his entire WWE career.
Yeah, well, but he just always has excuses for it, which is awesome. It's a lot like when EC3 was the champion in TNA. He always had an excuse whenever he lost. Or the Bromance had an awesome excuse when they lost the tag team titles and then couldn't get it back. They just kept coming up with more things. Oh, we were in a 3-on-2 match, and you know we lost to the two guys because we just weren't used to having three guys on our team. I don't know what was going on, you know. Yeah, Owens was.
Sorry, go ahead. Finish your point.
Owens said that the reason he lost to Ambrose was because he was focusing on being an amazing Intercontinental Champion, which doesn't give any reason why he would have lost that match, but for some reason it does.
Yeah, what I was going to say is switching to Raw for a second. The whole New Day Jamboree, their anniversary Jamboree, was pretty fucking gorgeous.
Oh my gosh!
The fact that they issued an open challenge that was open to no one.
Yeah, those are three very intelligent guys who are just doing a fantastic job with. Honestly, they were given nothing, and they made an amazing, you know, they made an amazing gimmick out of it.
Yeah. Punk actually commented about it on Twitter, talking about how he'd been trying to get these guys to get WWE to do something with these guys for forever, and now they finally are having their time to shine and actually do this what has become an awesome gimmick. What started off as a vaguely racist gimmick, and is now amazing.
What started off as a gimmick
was Xavier Woods' hair at Survivor Series.
It was epic.
was just so amazing. It was I called it James Brownian on Twitter. It was the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, he is quickly becoming one of the best guys on a show, and for a guy who doesn't really wrestle all that much, you know, he's very much a manager, but he's a really good manager. And the things that he does at ringside are, I mean, he's the reason why those matches kept getting cheered, even though people didn't really care about the gimmick at first. It was what he was doing at ringside the entire time.
Right, just yelling and screaming, and then finally the trombone. Speaking of the trombone, did you see the GIF from Survivor Series of just everybody just dancing?
Oh, Bad News Bear dancing was amazing.
So good.
Yeah,
so good.
I'm really enjoying the fact that the New Day has kind of hooked up with every single heel on the show now, where they've kind of had Sheamus with them, they've kind of had Bad News Barrett with them.
Yeah, I did enjoy the fact that that after Big E got eliminated, they all just left.
Yeah, it just took off.
I actually thought what they were going to do is have Sheamus win somehow and then cash in and lose. I actually tweeted that. I said, if Sheamus wins this match now, that it's 3-on-1. If he wins this match somehow, he's going to cash in later and lose the cash in. But they didn't go that way. Obviously.
The Survivor Series matches were really kind of odd because, you know, like I said, the pre-show one, you had one guy on the you had one person on the face team get eliminated. The other 4 eliminated everyone else. And then, of course, on later on the New Day, you had them eliminate themselves essentially, or at least 2 of them. And so it was very, very weird. But then again, I mean, they didn't really matter. This was just like, here's some guys getting some paychecks.
Hey, it's Survivor Series. We have to do this because a couple years ago when we threatened not to do this, you people fucking freaked out on us. So
yeah. So they're hoping that this is just going to die by them just not caring as much anymore.
Yeah. Here's what I think they should do. And I mean, not related to Survivor Series or Survivor Series matches. Here's what I think they should do. I think now that Money in the Bank has been cashed in, at the next pay-per-view at TLC, they should do a Money in the Bank match.
And see, that would be nice.
That way there's always a Money in the Bank holder.
Yeah. Yeah. I do have to say Ambrose had one of the best promos on the Money in the Bank. He had one of those little backstage ones that they don't show on TV where he was just like, he was going on about the fact that like all of these veterans would be crying if they saw that their company was reduced to guys cashing in briefcases instead of earning title shots, stuff like that. He did a really good job on not on calling out the fact that the Money in the Bank thing is a little bit handcuffing for the writers, because it's like, well, what happens between then and now? You can't always Mr. Kennedy it and just have him lose the briefcase to somebody else. So that was really good.
And the only reason that happened was because he got wellnessed in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but then again,
that cost him a major angle with Mr. McMahon.
Yeah.
So whoops.
Yeah. Whoops. But you know what? He's a two-time TNA champion. Yeah. Enjoy that TNA Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. All in all, it was a decent show. I was really impressed with the TLC promo that they had.
The video game. I like that one. The ending of it is so weird to me because it's like because it foreshadowed Survivor Series without anyone realizing that it was foreshadowing Survivor Series.
Yeah.
And then he gets to almost the end, and then all of a sudden gets beaten up out of nowhere and dies.
Yeah. That is true. I didn't think about it until now. That they kind of spoiled it for you because Roman Reigns got all the way to the end, and But see, so here's my other problem with this is, Roman Reigns is a WWE champion now, even if he only had it for 34 seconds.
5 minutes and 15 seconds, according to them on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the last thing you said.
This is the same problem that we had where storyline wise, you kept You're shaking your head. Can you not hear me?
Nope. I can't wait to go back when I'm putting this together tomorrow and listen to what you just said. But no, I didn't get any of it.
Okay. Well, what I was saying was when Roman Reigns wins the title again, he's going to be a 2-time WWE champion.
Right.
And you had the same problem with Daniel Bryan, where when he finally won the championship at WrestleMania, he was a 3-time champion at that point.
Speaking of which, that's actually a very good segue. That's one of the reasons that I'm happy that this shirt came up in my rotation today. What they're trying to do is they're trying to turn Roman Reigns into the next Daniel Bryan. It's obvious as hell. That's exactly what they're trying to do. Down to the exact same celebration of you just won the title, now you're covered in confetti. Oh wait, here comes Money in the Bank to cash that in and take it away from you.
Yeah.
The problem is, and here's why this won't work this time. The crowd is not behind Roman Reigns.
No.
Actually, one of the things that I read this week said that the reason that they booked the ending of Survivor Series the way they did is because Vince wants Roman Reigns to be the champion. Vince wants Roman Reigns to be the guy to replace John Cena, basically. But
Yeah.
Vince doesn't want to give Roman Reigns the title while the crowd is booing him.
Right.
You're never, if that's what you're waiting for, it's never going to happen. It is never,
Right.
ever going to happen. You are never going to get 100% of the crowd to cheer Roman Reigns.
Right. The other issue here too is if you wanted to do the Daniel Bryan story, you've got your Daniel Bryan and Dean Ambrose. The pop that he received when he came out for that match was tremendous. That's the guy that you should be pushing to the main event right now.
Absolutely. That's another thing that Foley was actually talking about, is how week after week we're told that, you know, these guys that we like, you know, are important and matter, but when it all comes down to it, it's still Roman Reigns to Sheamus, seen as the United States champion, you know. And so they can you know, lip service all they want and tell us, you know, hey, look what happened to Daniel Bryan. You guys cheered Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan got the WWE Championship. But at the end of the day, actions speak louder than words. And at the end of the day, they still went with Roman Reigns to win the tournament, despite that Ambrose is far more over with the crowd. And Ambrose title run would have been amazing, I think. Yeah. Even if he had, like I had speculated last week, even if he had been the one to join the Authority at the end of the Survivor Series, get all the way through that match, and then somehow if Triple H comes out or what have you, distract the ref, Ambrose clocks Roman with a chair, pins him, wins the title, joins the Authority. Even that would get such heat and would still put Dean over so hard that they could have run with that for months. That was actually somebody else's chief complaint about the tournament, was that nobody in the tournament, in a tournament that was designed to kind of put over these guys, nobody in the tournament is in a different spot. Nobody in the tournament is more well off in the company or more well off in terms of fan reaction than they were when the tournament started.
Right. I mean,
the only real
go
ahead.
Ambrose is back down, going for the IC belt again.
Yeah, I mean, the only real rub that anyone in the tournament got was Kalisto by going over Ryback, and now he's back. You know, back with he's still doing tag team stuff. It's after that match, after he lost to Alberto Del Rio, nothing has happened.
True that.
So I mean, and you can say that. I mean, it is partially true that no one in the tournament got anything out of the tournament, especially given that Roman didn't even get to keep the title. But it was still entertaining to watch, and I did enjoy what came out of it. So, not thrilled with, you know, Sheamus being the champion, but I mean, that's just kind of hand in hand with the fact that weren't thrilled with Sheamus winning Money in the Bank in the first place.
True. I think I hear your child.
Yeah, it's being taken care of.
He sounds upset.
Yeah, it's being taken care of.
Anyway, are you putting the dogs in the enclosed pool area? Is that how you're taking care of it?
So, yeah. Anything else? Anything else to add? We somehow managed to pull an hour out of this. I don't know how we did that, but
no, I think we're pretty well ready to roll into it, unless you had your results from the voting.
Oh yes. Thank you for reminding me, because I would have forgotten again for the second month in a row. Okay, let's bring this up here. Survivor Series itself. Everybody except two people picked Tyler Breeze to win. Whoever submitted the survey under the name Adam Sucksballs, you can go fuck yourself. We had 5 people pick the Wyatt family over the Brothers of Destruction. Almost everybody got at least one out of the two members correct. Only one person, only Chris L didn't get either member, but almost everyone picked Bray Wyatt or Luke Harper. Nobody picked Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper, but almost everybody picked Bray Wyatt or Luke Harper. We had 3 people say that Charlotte would lose, and 2 people say that she wouldn't retain the belt. Which is one of those weird things because whoever's voting as Shane McMahon, proving he's been out of the business a little too long, it doesn't seem to know exactly how this works anymore. Said that Nikki said that not Nikki Page would win, but Charlotte would retain. We've got 1, 2, 3 people picked Del Rio over Roman. 1, 2, 3, 4 people picked Owens over Ambrose. Both of the two, one of each of those was Melissa Joan Hart. Melissa Joan Hart did not fare well in this poll.
She's got a thing for the heels, man.
1, 2,
She's
3,
got a thing
4.
for them heels.
6 people picked Roman Reigns in the final. Only 3 said that yes, there would be a cash-in and Sheamus would win. We did have a couple yes, but he loses votes as well. I forgot to delete that one and counted all these up wrong, but that's all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people voted that nobody would join the Authority. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people picked that no one would win because they said no one would join. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people picked Roman versus Del Rio to open the show, and that's 9, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9 people picked that the tournament finals would end the show. I am going to have to redo these results because I just realized that I counted wrong because I forgot to clear out the wrong answers from one of the columns. But right now, with my incorrect results, we have for the people. At this point we'll only talk about the people who are actually qualified for the contest. Raccoon Reigns is in first place. So as host of the show, I mean he's not qualified for the prize, but he is currently in first place because he went 13 out of 14 on the predictions. The only thing he got wrong was he picked Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman instead of Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper. 13 out of 14 on Survivor Series predictions. Well done, you. So he won the Survivor Series. Anyways, then in second place, we have tied for second place Chris L and Bill L, who are at 64%. Then we have Sal and you, Troy, at 62%.
Sweet.
And then Andy and I are both at 61%. Josh is at 60%. Chris S is at 60%. Neither of them voted in this poll. Then we've got Zach P at 55%. Vinny at 54%. Jizz in your mouth Murphy at 53%, even though he's not qualified. I just like to mention him. That's the end of the qualified people. As for the pay-per-view itself, like I said, Raccoon Reigns 13 out of 14. Fantastical.
Damn.
And we've got, let's see here, 11 for Mark Green, Bill, Troy, and Vinny. 11 out of 14. Chris, L, Sal, Andy and I, and Zach got 10 out of 14. Then we've got Jizz in Your Mouth Murphy at 8 out of 14. Melissa Joan Hart and Shane McMahon at 5 out of 14. And Adam Sucksballs at 4 out of 14. So, but again, I am going to have to redo that because I did miss that one column in the results there. So some of those may be off a little bit if it's a major thing, and we'll talk about it next week. If not, it won't make a difference. If it doesn't make a difference, then we won't. So, I mean, the only thing I can see is that it might switch up Chris and Bill because they are actually 100% tied right now. Going into TLC, which is the last one, they are both 103 correct out of 160 total for 64%. And I would like to thank them both for being the only two people who have done every single show. So thank you, Chris L. Thank you, Bill, for participating in every single in every single prediction contest thus far. So, with that, let me do one last check of the voicemail box here, just to be sure. Nothing. With that, that does it. What about dicks?
Dicks.
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 So, yeah, on that note, we somehow managed to turn a week with no news into an hour of us yammering on about stuff. And got to tell you, I enjoyed
Commentators.
it. I enjoyed it. So that does it for the rundown for this Tuesday, November 24th, 2015. God damn, look at my fucking face. 142 days since Finn Balor won the NXT Championship. Go to audibletrial.com/rundown for a free audiobook and a 30-day free trial. Liberty States returns Saturday, December 5th for Holiday Havoc at the John McCarthy Elementary School in Peabody, Massachusetts. Lucky Pro Wrestling Blizzard Brawl got postponed from December 4th all the way out to Saturday, February 27th at the Elks Lodge in Clinton, Mass. So you're going to have to wait a couple months for that casket match. And Atlantic Pro Wrestling returns in February with Wrestling for Reading 3. Follow us on Twitter at Rundown Podcast. Send us an email at rundownwrestling@gmail.com, or be cool like Sal and leave us a voicemail at 206-202-6478. That's 206-20.
Thanks.
Thank you. Like us on Facebook. Tell your parents and your grandparents to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/rundownwrestling. To make a donation of the monetary variety, go to rundown.podomatic.com and click the PayPal donate button on the right-hand side of the page. If you donate at least $50, I will say whatever you want. I look like fucking powder. Look at me. Jesus
Someone
Christ.
grab a spoon.
Go to watch archived episodes at youtube.com/rundown podcast. Don't watch this one. You'll blind yourself with my face. And circle us on Google Plus at google.com/+AdamRundownHost. Feeling constipated? Get some relief at tinyurl.com/distant horizons. It's poetry for your asshole. Listen to sister podcast, shadowvein.net, patreon.com/shadowvein, and of course the Pen15 Club on Podomatic, iTunes, and Stitcher. Search for us on iTunes, another Rundown Wrestling podcast. If you subscribe, you get the podcast delivered to you absolutely free each and every week for $0.00. If you cannot afford a monetary donation, leave a 5-star review because that helps other people find us. If you leave a text review, we'll read your name and your text review at the end of a future episode. We're also available on Stitcher, Stitcher.com, or the Stitcher app on your iOS or Android device, also free. Thanks to Tegan Brown for the logo. You can find her now on Facebook. She has a fan page for her art now, which is good. We have all liked it. Thanks, Tegan. Thanks to everyone for listening. Thanks to no one on the side. Thanks to Sal for the voicemail. Thanks to Troy for finally showing up and not making me do this by myself, because I wasn't going to do it by myself.
That's what I'm here for.
Thanks to I Fight Dragons at ifightdragons.com for the theme song. Next week, who the hell knows? Will at this rate, will there even be an episode next week? Who knows? And as always, Jacob, good night and good luck. Fod, Dom,
Tickety,
go
tickety,
fuck yourself.
tickety-doo.
And happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
American Thanksgiving, that is. You Canadians are fucked up and do it in October or some bullshit, but happy American Thanksgiving. Happy real Thanksgiving.
Yeah, fuck you, Canadians.
Happy Mex-American Thanksgiving.
Ooh, there you go.
Jack Swagger trying to be relevant again on Raw. We didn't talk about that.
He was on SmackDown too, by the way.
Good for him. Good for him.
Good for him. Good for him. Good for him. Good for him. Bye. Clicky, clicky.
I always got to leave enough room for me to do to do noise removal.
That's true. That was loud.
I know. I could hear it in your microphone. I need new headphones, but they're expensive, so I don't buy them.
I hear you.
You know what I like about this laptop? Audacity doesn't
It's not broken.
freeze. Audacity doesn't freeze when I try to do something. When I try to do noise removal. I know you clicked that, but I got to take about 4 minutes to think about it before I let you do anything. So you can sit there and wait, Bubsky, while I decide whether or not I'm actually going to let you select the whole track at once.
Oh, well, slow your roll here, man. I just can't be, like, doing all that stuff. You got
By
a
the
lot of
way-
other things open. Yes.
Why am I angry?
You were angry when I came on.
I was just concerned that I was dead because nobody was responding to my text messages or Facebook messages. I thought maybe I had died and didn't know it.
I got the Bruce Willis joke that Shane decided to throw off on you.
I know. Shane McMahon?
Something's touching me. I intentionally don't try very hard on those other prediction ones that I put in. I made
Are
sure
those-
to have
Are they all you?
no. Adam Sucks Balls was because I wanted to hear you say it, and Melissa Joan Hart was, and Jizz in Your Mouth Murphy is me. So
But you're
I
not
did.
Shane McMahon.
I'm not Shane McMahon, no.
What if he's doing Shane McMahon?
So that's it's got to be Sean.
That's gotta be Sean. That's gotta be
It's-
Sean.
Back out. Back out. Back out. It's Taz. King, it's Sean. No, yeah. I was Melissa Joan Hart because I wanted to pick all heels just because of the fact that was her problem. And I did. That's why she did as terrible as she did. Any time that the champion heading out is going to be a bad guy, it usually means that a bunch of good guys are winning throughout the show.
For someone with a 3 or the 2-year-old, you seem to have a lot of time on your hands.
I literally do those
To spend,
as I'm
to spend
like,
an extra
playing with her.
6 minutes doing a prediction contest 3 times.
It doesn't take me 6 minutes to do it.
If it's 2 minutes
Well,
per,
maybe collectively, yeah.
yeah,
But-
it's 2 minutes per, then 6 minutes.
Yeah. That's usually I'm sitting on the couch doing it on my phone while she's watching a Bubble Guppies or something
Bubble
like
guppies. Or the Dick Nose Pigs.
that kind of thing. Or the Dick Nose Pigs, yeah. She has been on that kick lately.
Oh, that's good.
Lately it's been Magic School Bus and Backyardigans.
Oh.
Yeah. Your time is coming, sir.
I know. That concludes this week's episode of Children's Television Talk.
Yeah.
Ta-ta.